Hi everyone, we are Group 17, and our topic today is long-term care insurance. My name is Wu Zixian, and this is our content. And I'm gonna start by talking about long-term care background and definition, and why we need long-term care. Alright, so first, why is long-term care a big deal? It's all about Taiwan getting older super fast. Look at this chart. It shows the percentage of people 65 and up. The line just keeps climbing. In 1993, we were in an aging society at 7.1%. By 2018, we became an aged society at 14.6%. And by 2025, it's gonna hit 20%, making Taiwan a super aged society. This shift is happening super quickly. And Taiwan is also facing a falling birth rate. This will make our aging population problem even worse in the future. And this fast aging leads to another big problem. Who is gonna take care of our elderly? And this chart explains the old age dependency ratio. It shows how many elderly rely on 100 working adults. Look at this line. By 2070, this ratio will become almost 100. So almost every working person will be supporting one elderly person. This is why long-term care is so crucial right now. Okay, so let's talk about the people actually caring for the family members. This slide shows their really tough situation. Many caregivers are super stressed out, lonely, and don't get enough help. This seriously messes with their health and family life. They spend an average of 13.6 hours every single day just taking care of someone that is super tired, and this causes huge issues. They lose their own lives. About 28% feel like they don't have a life anymore, and sadly, 20% are diagnosed with depression. This really shows how big a problem this is for families. So these trends show us why long-term care is so important. But what exactly is long-term care? We can think of long-term care as a professional and ongoing support system. It's about getting steady professional help for a long time, usually over 6 months. The main goal is to help people with disabilities or chronic illness manage their daily life and health. The service all cover a lot of ground from simple daily help like getting stressed to rehab and even medical nursing. And you can get this care in different places at home in the community or at special facilities like nursing homes. While anyone might need long-term care, it's most common for older folks, especially those with many health issues. So now we know why long-term care is so important. And next, my teammate will talk about the government's plan, the long-term care policy.
Hello, everyone. Today, I will introduce the basic policies of long term care insurance. Long term care insurance was developed because Taiwan is facing rapid population aging, a declining birth rate, and more people living with disabilities. These trends create heavy pressure on families, so the government provides subsidized services through the LTC 2.0 system. People who are eligible include seniors aged 65 and above, individuals between 50 and 64 with disabilities, people over 50 with dementia, and indigenous individuals aged 55 to 64. Anyone who needs continuous care for more than 6 months may apply. The government uses the Barthel Index, where at least 3 out of 6 daily living functions must require help, and the CDR Dementia Scale to determine the level of need. The first major part of LTC services is in home care. This allows people to stay safely at home while receiving support such as bathing assistance, meal preparation, mobility help, and home nursing services like round dressing and tube care. It also includes physical, occupational, and speech therapy. The second category is community based services, which provides daytime support outside the home. These include senior daycare centers, dementia community support centers, transportation services, and various short term daycare, and cognitive activity programs. These programs give older adults social interaction and also ease the load on family caregivers. The third category is institutional care, which offers a higher level of support. This includes certain nursing homes, long term residential facilities, and short term respite institutional care for people who require 24-hour professional supervision or cannot be safely cared for at home. The fourth category is family support and subsidies. This covers in home respite care for caregivers, subsidies for assistive devices such as wheelchairs and hospital beds, and home environment modifications like ramps, handrails, and anti-slip measures. These adjustments help make the home safer and reduce caregiver stress. Overall, LTC insurance provides three key advantages. It reduces financial pressure since long-term care can cost around 30,000 to 60,000 NT dollars per month, and subsidies covering 40 to 70% help ease that burden. It also reduces caregiver stress, as many caregivers provide more than 13 hours of care per day, often for years. Finally, LTC insurance creates a basic safety net at a time when Taiwan is becoming a super aged society, ensuring that people can access essential long term care as life expectancy increases but healthy life expectancy does not. This concludes my part of the presentation. Thank you for listening.
Now, I would like to move on the problem and challenges of Taiwan's long-term care policy too. First, there are serious concerns over financial sustainability. Taiwan long-term care policy too relies on public funding, such as tax revenue, tobacco surcharge. However, there is no dedicated long-term care insurance system. As Taiwan replying age, long-term care demand will continue to rise. In the long term, government fiscal resources alone may not be sufficient to sustain service quality. This chart shows how heavily long-term care funding depends on public fiscal sources. The second challenge is workforce shortage. Although the number of care workers has increased since the launch of long-term care too, high turnover remains a serious issue. Long working hours, low wages, and heavy workload affect both service quality and workforce stability. Taiwan long-term care system also rely heavily on migrant caregivers. The third problem is inefficient support for family caregivers. Most people with disability in Taiwan still depend on family members for daily care. Alone long-term care provides services such as respite care. Support remain limited due to restricted service hours. As a result, caregiver training and financial assistance are still insufficient and require further expansion. Based on this challenge, I will now discuss the future outlook and policy recommendation. First, Taiwan needs a more stable and sustainable financial method. It is also important to explore alternative options, including a social insurance model, such as the Japanese long-term care insurance system, or a multi-payer system combining public funding and provide insurance. Second, workforce development and retention must be stronger. Improving wage and working conditions can help retain care workers. In addition, providing advanced training and professional certification systems can enhance the attractiveness of care work as a long-term. Third, Taiwan should further deepen communicate-based care and system integration. These include improving information systems to enable data sharing across hospital and communicate and long-term care providers. At the same time, support for family caregivers should be expanded by offering more flexible cash benefit options, counseling service, and promoting family-friendly workplace policy, such as caregiving leave. Finally, technology innovation can play an important role in the future of the long-term care. AI-assisted care technology can help improve efficiency and safety. However, policymakers must also pay attention to potential concerns, including personal data protection and privacy.
Going to introduce the key concept of commercial long-term care insurance, including its objective, claim requirements, disability condition, and the different types of benefit. Commercial long-term care insurance is designed to provide financial support when a person becomes disabled or experiences cognitive impairment, such as dementia. It pays benefits when the insured requires long-term care due to illness or an accident. The main purpose of this type of insurance is to fill the gap not covered by the government's long-term care 2.0 program, ensuring individuals have more complete protection and care options. There are two major types of claims: disability claims and the cognitive impairment claims. For disability claims, the insured must meet moderate or severe disability criteria. They must be unable to perform several activities of daily living, also known as ADLs. And their condition must reach the disability level defined in the insurance policy. For cognitive impairment or dementia claims, the diagnosis must be confirmed by a qualified physician. The symptoms must remain stable for a certain period, depending on the policy requirement. When assessing disability, insurers usually refer to the Barton Index, which evaluates 6 major daily activities. These include eating, transferring, toileting, bathing, walking, and dressing. If the insured struggles with several of these activities, they may qualify for disability benefit. Commercial long-term care insurance offers multiple forms of benefit, giving policyholders flexibility based on their need. These include lump sum long-term care benefit, periodic long-term care benefit, specific disease benefit, paid either as lump sum or periodically. Disability benefit, cognitive impairment benefit, again in lump sum or periodic form. In-kind service, such as home care or facility-based care. And finally, a premium waiver. So policyholder no longer. My name is Guo Xunying, and I'm going to introduce two scenarios of commercial long-term care insurance. The first scenario is about cognitive impairment. Mrs. Wang lives alone, has experienced severe memory decline in recent years, with a history of frequently wandering. Her daily living skills have noticeably deteriorated. She was diagnosed by a hospital as severe dementia, and she assessed as level 1 disability. In this case, the payout is 40,000 New Taiwan dollars per month. 35,000 New Taiwan dollars is for 24-hour day and night home care, and the remaining 5,000 New Taiwan dollars is for purchasing a GPS tracking device, adult diapers, and other consumable care supplies. The second scenario is talking about the arguments of disability ratings like standardized criteria. In this case, the insured filed a claim for insurance benefits due to limited mobility caused by a stroke.
However, the insurer determines that the disability only met the standard for mild impairment, which didn't reach the moderate disability level stipulated in the policy. Therefore, the claim was denied by the insurer. Eventually, the judgment in this case based on the medical reports and ADLs. The insured was determined to have reached the level of moderate disability. The insurer should pay the claim of benefits. As for the suggestions by experts, first is enhancing information transparency. The policy provisions should be clear and written in plain language to ensure easy comprehension by consumers. Second suggestion is introducing a third-party assessment mechanism. Establish a third-party assessment mechanism for medical and long-term care can facilitate the fair resolution of disputed cases. And the third suggestion is about the encouragement for two-way communication. Consumers should consult professionals and seek assistance from impartial bodies when filing a claim. The last one is well-established government regulations. The competent authority should promptly clarify the definition and scope of long-term care insurance products, strengthen market supervision, and then enhance overall public trust.
Hi everyone, I'm 金融2梁家金. I'm going to introduce the comparison between government LTC policy and private commercial LTC insurance. So there is a table which indicates some comparison items. Since there is a high limit, I will choose some important items to talk about. So the first is main objective. The policy is basic, universal, and community-based, and it can reduce family caregiving burdens. And the insurance is additional flexible support. It can fill the gap and enhance care quality. The policy belongs to service payments, so it's based on service quota, and citizens might need to pay a portion of the fee. And the insurance belongs to cash payments. Fund application. The money of the policy is earmarked by the government services, and the insurance, you can use it as you want, as long as you spend it on care-related expenses. Service resources. The policy is contracted by the government, and it has urban-rural disparities, but the insurance, there's no limited. Next, I will talk about the advantages and limitations of these two systems. Government LTC policy. The pros are low barrier and universal services, and can reduce the burden of family. But the limitations, it has service quota limits, and it can only give you limited help for expensive caregiving. As for private commercial LTC insurance, the pros is it has flexible cash, and it can give you freedom in choosing service types and quality. But limitation is you have to pay regular premium payments, and it has stricter claims assessment. The last part is conclusion. So there's a summary about the role and core of these two systems. The policy plays a role like a basic safety wall, and insurance is financial enhancement and flexible choices. And the core of the policy is that it's providing services, not direct cash payments, but the insurance is cash payments. So I sort out the conclusion in 4 points. The first, government's LTC policy is the most fundamental right for every citizen, but it cannot fully cover all long-term care expenses. Government LTC policy for issues of who provides the care and where the services come from. Commercial LTC insurance for issues of where the money comes from and how to improve the quality of service. All in all, the two are complementary rather than mutually exclusive. That are our references. This is the end of our presentation. Thank you for listening.